Hello guys, glad to have you on board again today. I wanted to make this one, it's going to be not necessarily the last video or whatever. It's just, don't make it over emotional. I felt like I had to do something today for many reasons. So I'll explain. For those who don't even know about it, I'm going to cut down subscriptions on the 1st of December, which means everyone will have access to the indicators for free for at least a month. And then I'll advise according to market reactions. So I'll explain all of this in here because first of all, I owe you an explanation, full explanation. Secondly, I've been early dealing with this throughout Discord, but some of you guys are not into Discord or whatever, so I just wanted to do in here as well in YouTube. Publicly. So what happened first of all? So let's put it a diagnostic and then we'll talk about what I decided to do out of it. So for now and until further notice, all my US trading scenarios have been invalidated. And what does that, materially speaking, what does that means? Means that I've been stopped out in Wall Street last week. It was speculative trade, so once again, don't get it misunderstanding. Don't get it wrong. I haven't been taking a mysterious hidden big loss or whatever. Some people might have been saying these things in French. I mean, some guys are real stupid. It's just I'm so stunned to see how dumb some people can be. But anyway, so despite the haters or whatever, we're just seeing this as an opportunity to just be nasty and once again come at people for some stupid reasons. So I don't even give them any credit. But anyway, if you listen to those assholes, all right, fine. But yeah, no worries. It's not nearly about it. So the thing is that I had some speculative trading scenarios, the one you know about. On my weekly trading purposes, I was dealing with a reversal area in Wall Street, trying to search for a market top on a ranging structure with expanding tops and expanding lows as well. So this expanded range structure looks like, like that. All right, so that was my scenario. So obviously this area was a speculative area. After dealing with this one, which has been invalidated, I was dealing with this one, just, all right, we might try to overcome this area for a bit, and we'll see. So let's just draw the trend lines the way they are. All right, they are like that. So now with 3 weeks closing above this trend line, which is, all right, we do it 1 week, no problem with that. A second week, I'm fine with that. The week right after, kind of rising a bit of problems, because we're closing all those weeks at the market top, the volatility is significantly low. So, rising a lot of concerns. The volumes are low, the liquidity is high, but the volumes are, but the volatility is low. So it's really concerning because that could just be a breakout. Not necessarily the volume type of breakout, all right, but another type of breakout, the one I was absolutely fearing, which is the bubble breakout, in which bears are surrendering, and if the bears are no longer pricing in, then just bulls, you know what it means. When just bulls, even if there are just a few of them, when you have a market with just bulls, the market can rise significantly higher in a stupidly parabolic way. So, can we have a bubble in Wall Street? What I have in front of me tends to be saying yes, until we get to prove this wrong. So it's way too early to consider this a won battle for the bulls, but all I can tell is it's a lost battle for the bears at the current given time. There are no bears in this market, so no bears. Why the hell would you be bearish in here? All right? So, I'm sorry. What I'm trying to tell you in here is that some people want to see the market as either bullish or bearish at any given time. That's a mistake. That's what I first tried to teach you out here. The market is no black and white. It's all about shaded gray. But in here, we've got something real complicated because we just have to shaded gray without one of the two chromatic colors, which means one of the two opposite colors. Feels like right now we should be shaded gray, but we've got no white colors to shade gray on. There's no bears, not at all. I mean, the only bears who are still bearish right now is just stupid. I mean, technically speaking, all we have is just bullishness. So we're waiting for bears to show up again. But waiting doesn't mean you can hold bearish trades in such markets. So I've been invalidated last week. Even if I think this is clearly fucking stupid, I'll go back to, sorry, wrong button. I'll go back to the market to last week's market to explain what the hell has been going on. So this was last week. You know, my last week's scenario was I started the week selling the market right at the open. Sorry, well, we were in here. All right, so right at the open, sold the market, following on from this signal, basically thinking, all right, we're going for at least the divergence, or we're already in the final excess of this move. You know, I was dealing, is this the pullback or not? Is this the pullback or not? I didn't know, so anyway, I was dealing with this area to be either a pullback or a market reversal, but anyway, looking for Fibonacci supportive area to profit take. So my multiple areas to profit take was this support to secure the trade and this support to profit take. All right. So obviously, all week long, I thought we had decent odds to get there. Though we started, all right, so the market didn't want. They tried to fuck us in here. I told you I'm not triggering my stop losses in here because I think this is just an ugly trap, has been. But we've gotten there, and instead of breaking this area, which I thought we would, like I thought end of this week in here, I was definitely like, technically speaking, 90% chances we go down, we break the support, and we finally, just right at the end of the week, get to terminate the scenario. And what happened? We had all the bearish catalysts we need, and just overnight, Kudlow opened its fucking mouth, just says, we're going to have a great deal, whatever. I mean, the usual stupid shit about the Trump administration, and it works out. I was just like absolutely stunned when I woke up on the morning because, all right, stopped out because after this, I had a stop loss at this level. So I got stopped in here. And I was like, oh my God, but what the hell is going fucking wrong with those guys? This is stupid, let me be honest. If I tell you what I feel about it, I feel like those guys are really playing a dangerous game. I know how these things will end up in life because anytime I've tried this, I've seen things like that, never ended well. Those guys will probably end up in jail, not in jail, but in trial years from now when we'll uncover their account pricings and stuff like that. We'll figure out that they were trading and they were manipulating the market. So it's just a matter of time before the shit is going public, but I mean, for now it's working. I think it's real stupid, whatever, but anyway, that's it. I can't just trade because of it. So what I think about it is that most of it works out most of my personal biases. Once again, be aware of what you are, know your pros and cons, and just try to profit from your pros and just try to narrow the impact of your cons in trading. That's how you'll get to be a good trader. So now let's do this job. I know mines and I work them all the time. So the thing is that what are my pros? I'm good at analyzing a shit ton of data. I'm really good at analysis and stuff like that. I can process many informations and I'm fucking great pattern scanner. So I take advantage of all those pros. What are my cons? I have a natural bearish bias, which is totally different from being a perma-bearish guy, which is, well, I'll take a minute to explain the difference because it's important. All right, remember that everyone has a natural bias. When you're born, or when you were born, because this is something that you get to be taught. It depends on how you've been educated, but everyone has a fucking bias. So stop listening to those goddamn hassles you'll see all around the web telling, oh, the perma bears just took a hard lesson once again. All right, maybe, fine. Then you have a bullish natural bias. Just make sure you're not a perma bull. Otherwise, you're going to end up wounded, just like I said. So remember, I've made a podcast regarding perma bulls and perma bears. So have a look at this one. This is where you'll truly figure out what this is about. So natural bias, everyone has one. All right, either this is bullish or bearish. Statistically speaking, like I said, I think there are more natural bearish biases because the markets are unfair, whatever, those things like that. All right. So people tend to fight against the market that has a natural bullish direction when it comes to stock market, at least. All right. So people want to naturally fight it. That's what I do. All right. The bearish bias isn't a bad thing. It's just what you are. So you're not fighting a bearish bias. What you're fighting is when the bearish bias is impacting your actual trading decision, which I don't. All right. That's the thing. All right. I know I have a natural bearish bias. I just minimize it so it doesn't impact in trading, but it's still there. So like I said, it's easier for me to sell rather than buying a market. But does that mean I don't buy? Obviously not. When I see opportunities, I buy, because the bias is not impacting my decisions. But when I sell, I know that I have a little bit more incentive to sell. Yeah, true. But does that mean I'm selling every time? Or does that mean I'm holding my selling entries because I think they're going to be making it someday? No, fuck that. This is irrational. I don't do that. I don't do those things. But you need to understand that, all right? So I'm not fucking perma-bearish. I thought I was dealing with that long ago when I made that podcast. Apparently some people either haven't been seeing that video or are still pretty freakingly stupid, but whatever, all right? So I'm not posing, I'm not putting a pause button on the service for these reasons. I mean, no, it's just I have an invalidation. I think it's clearly freakingly dangerous and stupid what we have in here, and yeah, I mean, that could just have been the pullback last week. I doubt it, sincerely, but I'm just waiting for the market to do something right now. All I'm saying is that I have potential invalidation, so until I've got something proving me that the market has some bears in them, in there, then I'm just not trading. I'm looking at, but not trading. And where this causes a problem to me, all right, is, like I said, pros and cons. I know also that I have a very high standard in terms of ethics. I can't record daily videos if I don't trade. I hate that. That would turn me into an analyst. I'm not criticizing analysts, once again. Everyone does whatever the fuck he wants. I don't judge. What I'm saying in here is that I personally can't do it. For a simple reason. If Wall Street goes mad, which is a possibility, and let's be honest, what I have in front of me right here, right now, lead me to believe that this is a very, this is something you can't avoid. It's now moving toward a probable scenario. I thought it was very less likely going to happen months from now. Now, all I can say is that we're here, and what I see in here is the early steps of a potential bubble. So, if we're switching bubble, what the fuck would you do as a bear? Like I said, if the bubble triggers, I'll stop trading. Video to prove it. Like, once again, all those things are recorded on a day-to-day fucking basis. Did I just invent that scenario? No, you've been aware of this for months. I told you that if we trigger a bubble, I stop trading, and I'll wait for another bearish timing to trade. Another weekly bearish time frame, bearish timing to trade, which means I'm going to stop trading for multiple weeks until things get to be tradable again. Until then, I'll do nothing. I can't buy. I don't agree with buying bubbles and stuff like that. Some people will. That's good for them. They'll make a little bit of money. I don't want to go down this road. All right? Simple as that. So what I'll do is then I'll stop. And that was the plan for a long time. So if you think I've been overreacting because I was too stressed or whatever, some people tend to believe that. I mean, thank you. I've received a lot of very kind messages like, you feel like you're really tired, exhausted, and stuff like that. Yes, of course I am on top of this, which means, yes, it might have been a burden to have to face that right now, which is not the best moment of my life. But anyway, do I really care? I don't trade emotions. Right? You need to feel, yeah, even if I feel a little bit depressed recently because, I mean, it's freaking winter and I hate that season. So, but do you really think that's going to impact my trading? Obviously not. These scenarios are things we've been working around. I'm just applying the goddamn plan. So I told you I would stop trading if these things were about to trigger. They trigger, so I stop. It's simple as that. I don't like that, but can I change anything in here? I'm not the market maker, so you need to understand that what I do in here is not surrendering. It's just, I just can't fight until I get something to fight for. All I can see in here is that I might be among very few bears, and I just don't want to be the last stupid asshole selling the market. As simple as that. If I see some other bear stepping in, maybe I'll step in again, and I'm ready to do so. Just like I told you, I'm not closing a door. I'm just turning off the TV and putting it on standby with like an alert to just wake me up when things starts to be interesting. And as long as they're not, I'm just gonna put a fucking hold on my trading for one reason. All right, that's something that I think some of you guys didn't really understand. So I want to come I want to go public with this one. You need to understand that if Wall Street goes mad, like if they create a bubble, or even if that's just a trend, I can understand that. I just don't agree. I won't be trading that trend as I don't agree. Just like I said, I think Wall Street can be bullish, all right? But in order to do so, they need to plot a weekly bearish cycle, which means weekly bearish cycle, and then we go bullish. I agree with that type of scenario, all right? As long as we do price in the risks. I agree that buyers can take it over, but if we take it over like that, like it's just fucking bears, meaning that we trigger bullish breakouts on a weekly basis. Just like I told you, the bullish breakouts on a weekly basis have been done for years. We've been breaking in 2013. So we're not going to break any fucking thing in here. If we break in here, it's a bubble type of trading, and I don't want to be part of it. I thought I'd be clear with that, all right? But the fact is that Wall Street is where there's the most liquidity on earth, all right, because of their capitalistic system and whatever. All right? The thing is that they're making markets, not on their own, but they are the most influencers, influencing countries in the world when it comes to market orientations. So if Wall Street goes mad, then Wall Street liquidity will go totally mad as well, which means they will impact a shit ton of markets. All the fucking derivatives, like they can fuck up the gold, the silver, they can fuck up the entire forex market. They will obviously fuck up all my trades on Apple's, Facebook, whatever, all those things. So what I'm actually doing is that all those things have a stop loss, right? All those scenarios are ongoing scenarios. Some of them are validated, some not, some are speculative, whatever. They all have stop losses. What I'm doing right now is that all those pending scenarios, I'm not going to invalidate them just because the indices has been acting weirdly over the latest few weeks. I'll let all those scenarios terminate. If they terminate, I'll probably lose all my growth gains for this year, which means I'll probably terminate the year absolutely flat or whatever. But I doubt they'll be able to invalidate all my scenario. In order to do this, we need to pull back AUDNZD to my entry prices to get stopped out. They need to, I don't have WTI, but they need to fuck me up on the USD/JPY, in which I've got some leverage. They need to fuck me on the gold. If they do this, like invalidating me on the gold, on the USD/JPY, on the AUDNZD and stuff like that, I'll lose all my gains. Meaning I'll terminate the year with a fucking zero on the account. It never happened to me, but I mean, it can. And like I said, it wouldn't be a big deal. Like I said, this year has been the most crazy fucking year for swing traders. So if I end up the year with zero on the account, I would say I'm pretty fine with that. At least that would have been not a bad job regarding what we had to deal with. But still not good for me. Just like I told you, I've got ethical limits and some things that I just can't accept. I don't want to be depending on pro indicators for my incomes. It's an absolute necessity for me, for my personal way of feeling things, all right? Like my personal honor. Call it that way. I don't nearly give a shit about you when I do this. It's not to give you free indicators or whatever. It's just for me. It's my personal, the way I personally feel myself. I just can't accept not making my own money and being paid by pro indicators. I don't accept that. And if I end up the year with zero, that's exactly what's been happening this year, which means the only incomes I will have had, I would have got would have been from pro indicators. And I don't accept that. And I'm certainly not going to replicate that for 2020, which means I'll stop the subscriptions as long as necessary, as long as I don't make my own money. And I want you guys to understand that, because that's not even a question. So I'm cutting down subscriptions, not as a gift. First of all, yes, as a gift, because I owe you 1 month. I've been saying over the summer that I'll give a free month to every trader who's been subscribing. So I owe you 1 month. So this is what I'll do. I'll give you that month, as it's I owe you this month anyway. So I'm going to cut subscriptions on early December, and I'll decide if I put them back on early January. If the market goes back to normal behaviors on January, then yeah, I'll turn the subscriptions back in because I'll restore the working system. Well, just go back to the normal behavior. If things keep on going stupid, and like I said, I'm not going to be trading, so I'm not going to make you pay. It's simple as that. As long as necessary, subscriptions will be opened for everyone for free. I still haven't been deciding on how I'll do this thing, so I'll just leave an open door in here. Anyway, I still expect the market to go back to normal by January. So if it doesn't, that's how it's going to be. Free indicators for you, unlimited. and until I get to trade again, which means probably several weeks until I get some timing to deal with in the US. And that's it. So which means, what are the possible futures? Possible future in which I'm wrong. And let's be honest, I've always told you, I'm ready for it. I don't nearly think something has to happen. I told you I don't know shit about what the future is, and I'm certainly not betting on some type of future. All I can tell you right now is that what I have in front of me doesn't fit something I want to trade until it reverses. If it reverses, I'm fine. I'll keep on my open trades. If I'm wrong, they're going to stop me out. One market after another. All right? And if they do, and as they do, I'll just remove those red things and stuff like that. All right? And like I said, if they do, and that's it. These things have market stop loss right now. If I get stopped out, I get stopped out. End of the story. All right? And like I said, all of this can be impacted by Wall Street. They also impact the VIX, whatever. What I have left to trade is just cryptos. And like I said, I'm going to be trading crypto. Let's be honest. I will be trading cryptocurrencies, which means I'm not stopping trading. It's just, do you really think I'm going to be making daily podcasts just about cryptocurrencies when I do trade them swing? And knowing that the current area, let's make a quick analysis with the cryptocurrencies, you'll figure it out quickly. All right? What we're doing right now is possibly the scenario in which, like I said, we're oscillating in here with high risk of breaking down or reactivating. So we're still dealing with the same problems. The first area we've made in here has been highlighting two speculative areas, this one and this one. And this one. So far, we're trying to enter the second one, but we're still not. We might be dealing with this area for several days and weeks. So this area, in terms of swing trading, is interesting but dangerous, which means it has to be dealt with on shorter time frame. I told you that the specific time frame to have a look right now is the 1 hour chart specifically. Do you really think I'm not having a look at this chart? I do. The thing is that I'll talk about what I trade. I don't talk about what I don't trade. All those things, I don't trade them anymore. It's binary. Either they get back to normal, they validate, and then I'll get to restore the podcast because I'll have something to talk about. Or they go invalidating, I put them off the table, end of the story. And therefore, I've got nothing to tell you about, but just cryptocurrencies. And I don't want to make daily podcasts just for it. So, like I said, we're going for winter season and whatever. So I think my time is much better used to do something else. Like I said, I'm freakingly depressed by this winter because of the fucking weather and stuff like that, and personal issues. So I'm gonna take some fucking time for me. So I'm sorry, I don't want to be rude, but I know my own priorities. I know how to deal with my life. So don't worry about it. I'm pretty fucking fine. So thank you for your messages, but don't worry, I'm going to work out my own problems. I'm a big boy. You really think I'm going to crash down just because of market acting freakingly weird? No, it's just that it's been adding to some other stuff, and I'm going to take some time for me to deal with that other stuff. End of the story. And if trading gets to be interesting again in just a couple days, do you really think I'm not going to be trading? I will be trading. I'm always looking at the market. It's just, I don't want to talk about it anymore because I don't think there's anything for you to learn about it as long as I don't trade. So let's be true. Let's cut the crap. What I'm doing right now, yeah, I'm looking at cryptocurrencies, but just like I said, I don't think we're in a swing trading interesting area. So I don't really think there's a lot to do. I'm just watching just in case something interesting is happening on some specific liquid area. We might be dealing with one of those areas, so I'm having a look at what happens there. So far, I'm not triggering anything. All right, the other thing I'm looking at is VIX, and that's it, which means, how the hell do you think I can handle daily fucking podcasts talking about two assets? I consider these as one because I deal with them all at once. So it's one asset, two asset. End of the story. So either I make you 2-minute podcast on a day-to-day basis, or I just said, like I said, I cut it down so I can go for some vacation if I want to. I'm not forced to record fucking videos every day. So yeah, I'll still be in Discord. I have it on my cell phone, and if I see opportunity, I'll obviously go down and tell you about it. That's simple as that. Do I still look at the indices? Obviously fucking yes. But there's nothing to talk about until something interesting happens. All right? So I just wait for it. I goddamn hope it will show up interesting. But in the meantime, all I'm looking for is this. I'm looking at the VIX. The VIX either is going to go there, which means they're going to push us back to this area, which means they're going to try go 10, or even dip in a toe below just to print something with a single digit. But that's how it is. I mean, if we go there, it's going to take a freaking long time, which means we're going to grind our way in here. That's the invalidation I don't want. If something like that is going to happen, God damn it, do you really think I care about this market? No way. The other option is we try to go as far as we can, we fail, volatility shows up, we get to 27, 28, and if something goes wrong in here, we go 50. If that happens, oh, believe me, I'm going to be back in the market. Yes, obviously, but can I know? No, I don't. Do I prefer this thing? Yes, because it will be much more logical regarding the macroeconomical state right now, but does that mean it's going to happen? I mean, ask yourself that simple question. Does something need to happen to the market? No fucking way. I mean, the market can do whatever the fuck it wants. You're not there to control things. If you ever thought you would control, I mean, goddammit, even if what happens seems stupid to you or whatever, does that mean you can trade just because of this? Never, ever, ever. That's not what I teach you. Do you really think I'm teaching you stuff I don't do myself? I do it. This is irrational. I don't like it. It's working out both my bearish bias and my injustice feeling. And God knows these things are really deeply anchored into my personality. Yes, I think it's unfair what we're having right now. I think those guys who are cheating with the market are definitely going to pay for this someday. But until then, the market goes up. And you can't just be selling because it's unfair and you have a natural bearish bias. I'm totally aware of this. Just like I said, I've been working my own issues years ago. I know these things cannot impact my trading. I just cut it down. I had weekly areas I wanted to deal with. So far, we're closing on top of them. Is this a trap? I would like to. Can I just take trades because I feel like it's going to reverse, this is a trap or whatever? God damn it, if it's a trap, I'll wait for it to show me up. Until then, no trading for me. All right? Can take a couple days to reverse, can take a couple weeks, can also never reverse. So yeah, I'm waiting for it. And like I said, I'm holding the podcast until I got a reliable answer. When I say reliable, it means that if the volatility is just picking up a bit, I'm not going to restore podcast immediately. I'm going to wait for something validated to actually do something. All right? So don't mind me. It's not that I don't want to talk to you. It's just understand that this is some ethical limits I'm not willing to cross. Until I get to trade again, make my own fucking money, I don't want you to pay me. That's simple as that. So it's a zero income for me from pro indicators until further notice. Starting December, I'll stop the podcast right here, right now, after this one. I'll eventually make a weekly podcast just to update on those things, but I already do it. I'll keep on doing the weekly podcast update for cryptocurrencies on TradingView. I'll have to record this week's one, obviously, so I'll do it probably later today. So I'm not cutting the job. I'm just stopping because there are some ethical limits in here I'm not willing to cross. Simple as that. So I hope you guys now understand the full perspective of what's going to happen, why, how long, whatever. All those things are not really depending on me. They're all market dependent. So I'm waiting for things to happen. And until then, I'll still on Discord. I'll still answer your emails and stuff like that. All right. If I take a bit of vacations, like if I decided to take some day off, obviously there's going to be some delays into the emails answerings and stuff like that. So don't mind me. All right. But if the market goes back to normal, everything will go back to normal. It's just totally market dependent. See you guys later. Hope you're going to have a good week. Be patient. Don't be stupid. And that's it. All right. See you whenever that will be possible.